this video, I explore the meaning of a key word used in the New Testament to express the notion of love. This is how this word is pronounced.
Αγάπη.
This Greek word is found 320 times in the New Testament, 116 times as a noun, 143 times as a verb, and 61 times as an adjective. The notion of love in the New Testament can be traced back to the Old Testament. Jesus speaks with a scribe who asks him which commandment is the first of all. Jesus' answer is, "The first is, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength," which is the citation of two biblical passages, namely, Deuteronomy 6 verses 4 to 5 and Leviticus 19 verse 18. I have commented these biblical passages in my book on pages 205, 207 and 208. Please see link in the description to have more information on this book. Let me know your opinion on what I wrote in my book about these biblical passages in relation to the dialogue between Christianity and Judaism. The voice of Moses and that of Christ speak therefore in unison, and St. Paul will also join them in the proposal presented in Romans 13 verses 8 to 10. Please read text in the slide. In Hebrew, the term that best reflects this divine and human love is
Hesed.
This Hebrew term expresses the range of feelings and commitments that exist between two people bound by a covenant of love. According to the Book of Wisdom, God loves all things that exist and the Lord loves the living. His is a revelation of love. God says, "I have loved you with an everlasting love.
Hesed.
Therefore I have continued my faithfulness to you." Christianity takes up this message of the first covenant and almost makes it as its banner, as well expressed in 1 John 4 verse 8, God is love. Also Paul refers to the God of love. Christ's mission is to reveal that God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, and in fact, he went about doing good and healing all who were oppressed by the devil. Our love must respond to this divine love, with righteousness as a sign of the truth of love. Beloved, since God loved us so much, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God. If we love one another, God lives in us, and his love is perfected in us. There are two dimensions to this love, as Jesus suggested to the scribe as already mentioned. See highlighted text in the slide. It must first be oriented toward God the Father, welcoming his word and his law. I love you, O Lord, my strength. This can be the common profession of love of the Jew and the Christian and the Song of Songs or the story of the prophet Hosea, see chapters 1 to 3, in which Hosea express symbolically this love that knows intimacy but also the time of trial and betrayal. Love must then be projected towards our brothers and sisters. The commandment we have from him is this: those who love God must love their brothers and sisters also. Christ will push the ancient biblical precept to its extreme consequences, exalting love to the supreme point to invite us to forgive our enemies and to offer ourselves for love of our friends. No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. This generosity, which extends above all to the least, the poor and the suffering neighbors in need, will be the decisive argument of the divine judgment on humanity at the end of history, because Christ will say, "As you did it to one of the least of these my brothers, you did it to me." In relation to this biblical passage, in 2024 I published an article in English in a peer-reviewed journal called Archivum Franciscanum Historicum. The article is entitled "The Franciscan Reception of Matthew 25 verses 31 to 46 during the Medieval Period, Implications for Franciscan Theology and Spirituality." In this slide you can see the biblical text discussed. In the article, I examine in detail Matthew 25 verse 40, see highlighted text in the slide, and its interpretation by various medieval theologians and saints, such as Saint Anthony of Padua, Saint Bonaventure, and Nicholas of Lyra. My main focus is on Franciscan interpretations, though I also consider how Dominican theologians, including Saint Thomas and Saint Albert, understood this passage. I chose to undertake this study because, as shown in the story of Saint Francis's encounter with the leper, whenever a Christian serves and loves a neighbor in need, they serve, love, and encounter Christ. In the episode of Francis and the leper, which I comment on in the article, Francis comes to recognize Christ precisely in the leper whom he helped and embraced. If you are interested in this topic, please get in touch with me and I can send you a copy of this article. I would be very happy to receive your comments. Once again, I want to thank Cardinal Ravasi for granting me the permission to use his material, taken from the link from the website of Famiglia Cristiana that I showed in the slides, to create this YouTube video.